Welcome to Week in Review. I'm Jen Zielinski. Here are our top stories for December 4th to the 9th. A jewelry store is robbed on Breeden Road. The Métis Society suffers a devastating loss after a fire. A father laments on the sentencing of his son's killer. Highway 33 turns into an ice rink. Firefighters rescue a dog after a mattress catches fire in a local residence. And 64 kids are taken on a trip of a lifetime. Our first story. Gunfire erupted in Kelowna Tuesday afternoon after a man robbed Premier Jewelry and Loans. Store owner Martin Strasser talks about a terrifying 4 minutes.
There's a few times where he's literally probably 18 inches away from her face with the gun, telling her to put the things on the counter. I mean, she's got kids, she shouldn't have to go through this, but yeah, at this point, there he's talking to me in the corner and aiming the gun at me.
RCMP were quick to the scene where the suspect opened fire on them. Now, he was able to escape and police are still looking for him. If you have any information regarding this incident, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. When fire struck the Kelowna Cycle location on Pandosy, it appeared at first that the damage had been contained to the bike shop. But Castanet has learned the Métis Community Services Society of BC, located on the second floor of the building, also suffered extensive damage as a result of the fire. Executive Director Alan Wesolowski says it appears they've lost all of their computer equipment and that smoke has damaged $1,000 worth of Christmas gifts and toys the Society had purchased to give to children this year. To help or contact the Society, call 250-868-0351 or email reception@mcsbc.org. It was New Year's Day 2010 when Joel Reimer was run over and dragged to his death. George Young pleaded guilty to criminal negligence causing death and failing to remain at the scene. He was sentenced to 6.5 years on December the 8th. The family and friends of Joel Reimer feel that the courts have once again been far too lenient in their sentencing. With time served, Young will only be in jail for another 32 months. Highway 33 turned into a skating rink Sunday morning, sending several vehicles over an embankment. Kelly Hayes reports.
Started sliding, spinning, went into a ditch, and missed the pole by a little bit, and the van that was already in there.
The van, as he mentioned, was already off the road, went off Saturday night, a precursor to more carnage heading down the highway.
About 10 minutes later, Buddy and his Ford hit the barrier and totaled his car. About 15 minutes after that, Ford F-250 3/4 ton kind of went over and landed on top of our Volkswagen and on top of the van.
When it was all over, 5 vehicles involved, but somehow everyone escaped with minor injuries or none at all.
Kelowna fire crews were called to a smoke-filled residence along Casorso Road Tuesday afternoon after a mattress caught fire inside a home, and a cigarette could be to blame.
Everyone's out. We did have a couple of injuries to the residents. One resident suffered some burns to his hands and his face.
A family pet was feared stuck inside the home, but fire crews found the dog safe and sound. In the Shuswap, police have laid charges in a horrible boating accident that's claimed 1 life. 49-year-old Leon Michael Reinbrook has been charged with criminal negligence causing death and criminal negligence causing bodily harm after a speedboat crashed into a houseboat, killing the houseboat's driver. That was back on July 3rd, 2010. On Tuesday, Wendy's and the Sunshine Foundation made hearts glow for 64 children when the 49th Dream Lift took off for Disneyland. I was lucky enough to tag along and see all the magic happen.
Why didn't you go on this ride?
Because it wasn't fast enough. I like fast rides.
What's the fastest ride you've been on so far?
I'd say Thunderman.
What's your favorite ride?
I like the Adventureland,
Yeah, guess what you got to do on that ride?
Yeah, I went that on 2 times.
We had lunch and we had corn dogs. They were really good. The corn dogs here are excellent and humongous. And also the Black Mountain, there's so much water that the people in the front basically get drenched everywhere.
The cost of the dream lift was $150,000. That money was raised by Wendy's restaurants from around the Okanagan. But from what I witnessed, the smiles on the children's faces was priceless. Well, that wraps up Castanet's Week in Review. I'm Jen Zielinski. Thanks for joining us. Remember to send in your news tips to news@castanet.net.